guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jonz, and for today's video, as I have noticed, a lot of people are requesting on my story on how I went here in Australia or how I came here in Australia. So before I do that, if you are new to my channel, please click the subscribe button. Please click the bell as well so you'll be updated for my videos. And a disclaimer, guys, every people has a different way on how they got to a country that they like, and this is my story. And what else can I say? This story is actually long awaited by a lot of you. Apologies for that, because I am a full-time nurse here in Australia, so most of the time I'm just in the hospital working. First question, why did I choose nursing, or why did I become a nurse? Actually, guys, my course of choice is actually I want to become a news anchor in the field of broadcasting, because back in my high school days I was a contributor in our school paper. I'm one of the feature editors. I like to write poems and to write short stories, something like that. So from there, it has been instilled to me that my future career would be a broadcaster, like holding the microphone, telling you the breaking news and telling you the updates on what's happening in the country. But before I proceed to my entrance examinations on my college application, my mom and dad had a chat with me and told me that yes, they respect my choice of wanting to pursue broadcasting, but they would have a choice. They want me to pursue nursing. Also, guys, what they have told me is that they don't want me to be a news anchor because they said I might be gunned down or I might be killed during a breaking news or something like that. So being the eldest daughter and as a respect to my parents, I took their advice and their and what they want from me. So I ended up enrolling or having the college admission for nursing. And that is way back 2006. During my uni years when studying nursing, it was really a struggle for me because first and foremost, it's not my course of choice. But you know, everything has changed when I have started to do my placement or started to do our duty. It's what we call it back home in the hospital. I started to appreciate the impact of being a nurse and the nursing itself on the patients, especially if you'll see them come to the hospital really sick, and then after a few weeks or a few days they'll be discharged, and they are very thankful of the help that you gave to them and of the care that you gave to them. From there, I have realized the impact of being a nurse to these patients. So from then on, I have loved the nursing. I have loved the nursing profession. True story, guys. First experience or death experience to a patient is actually on my second year of placement. So this my patient who has been suffering pneumonia, has been having difficulty of breathing. Guys, the patient died on my arms. I'm holding the patient, and I could still remember that when the patient took his last breath, and he told me how thankful he was for my care. And from then on, studying nursing became different to me. Next question is, I have finished my nursing degree 2010, and by that time there are a lot of nurses in the Philippines. By saying a lot, it means a lot. So 2010, I have finished my nursing degree, and what's next is to pass the board examination to be a licensed nurse in the Philippines. And then comes tedious reviews, sleepless nights, and then attending review centers as well. Sad to say, I haven't passed my first try on the nursing board exam. I remember back then I was feeling so depressed, so sad of myself. I can remember they have released the board exam result Saturday or Friday, and then come Sunday, I was torn between attending church Sunday service because I'm not feeling very well. I feel very broken. But then I realized that I have to set that aside because Sunday is for God. Sunday is church day. So I went to the church, and in our church I have a batchmate and a classmate as well, same uni, who by God's grace, he passed the board exam. And he was giving a testimony, saying, a testimony, guys, is where we share our blessing, share something that God has given us. It's meant to inspire someone. So instead of taking that as being envious of him passing the board exam, I told to myself, I'll be the next one standing in there, holding the microphone in the pulpit, saying that I have passed the board exam. So that's my word to myself and my word to God, and I firmly believe that God will grant that. And still, the next preparation to my board exam continues. I also remember back then that I have stopped eating since that board exam has been released, because I feel really low. And what I could remember is my grandmother telling me that, oh my gosh, her memory just makes me wanna cry. Anyway, my grandmother during that time is telling me that that exam doesn't define who I am. That exam doesn't mean that it's the end of the world for me. And she told me that I should try again. So, which I did. I have tried again. I need to make these tears go back. Quite emotional when I say grandmother, guys, because my grandmother passed away. And I missed her so much. I have to have a break. Okay, let's continue. I am now preparing for my second try on taking the board exam. I have told myself that this would be the last time I'll be taking the board examination. Now, by God's grace, I have passed my board examination. And you know what, guys? Just a fun fact. During that time, they have said that that is the most difficult board examination in the Philippines during that time. Okay, so it's like another reward for me. So then I was so happy when I stood up in the pulpit and said thanks to God and said thanks for everyone, to those who have prayed. And I remember how proud my father was for me passing the board exam and all of that. Now the struggle begins. I have to find work. So because a lot of nurses, or because nursing career has been very popular during that time, we have an overflow of nurses, and you cannot just apply to a hospital and they'll hire you immediately. No, you have to have trainings before that. You have to, so I took basic life support training, IV training, or IV insertion training. Those trainings just to make my application a bit more pleasing to the management compared to the other nurses, because of we have a lot of nurses during that time. You won't be hired immediately as a paid nurses. You will be, as a paid nurse, you will be hired as a volunteer. By volunteer, I meant that you have to work the hours, you have to work the workload, and you won't be paid anything. That's true. That's true nursing in the Philippines. So I passed the board examination February, and then I've started applying, no callbacks. And then in a district hospital not too far to our home, I applied. So by April, I have been hired as a volunteer nurse in a district hospital. So I have been exposed there to a general ward nursing. So general ward nursing, or tongue twister, general ward nursing related to medical cases. But we have a few maternity cases in there as well. Then during that time, my father was saying, this won't do good because you're exhausted on your work and you're doing the hours, but you're not being paid, because he didn't know that that's how it was back then. Someone told us that there would be an opening, or there's a program meant for the overflow of nurses in our city, being a community health nurse. So I have applied, and thank God I passed the application. So I have been a community health nurse for 6 months. I think it was meant to be just for a 3-month program, but then they've extended it because they've needed our help with regards to the care to the community. That time, guys, I am paid, and my first salary, I gave it as a tithe to the Lord. So from being a community nurse, now that program has stopped. So what do I do now? I don't know where to go. I don't know where to apply. Now, during this time, I have applied as I am in the music ministry in our church, and my music leader told me that my music leader's wife is a nurse as well, and I have heard, and she or based from him, they are needing nurses on her hospital. So I have applied in their hospital, and from 2012 to 2013, I became a NICU nurse. So NICU nurse is neonatal intensive care unit nurse. The babies who were born like from cesarean delivery would be sent to us, or sometimes if it's quite complicated, will be on the operating theater as well, helping with the surgeon side by side in the delivery of the baby. So from the operating theater, the baby will be then put to our unit, which is the neonatal intensive care unit, and then we will look after the baby. It's quite rewarding experience, guys, to see the baby come out from the mother's womb, and then you clean the baby, give them their first bath, and what I'm really excited is every first feeding you have to keep an eye on them, make sure they won't be aspirated, and it's like taking a child of your own and watching them have their first milk, their first burp, first change of diaper. It's really cute. The babies are really cute, guys, I should say. For a year I've been a NICU nurse. The hospital location is quite far from my home, so I'm paying rent aside from paying for my food and my daily expenses, and I'm not saving any money. So I have decided that I have to move in somewhere close to home so I don't have to pay any rent. After deciding to stop working in the neonatal intensive care unit, I have then applied in our town proper, because my mom said there's a new built hospital in our town. I have applied there, and from there I have stayed and worked for 5 years.
Shout out Cortez Hospital.
From 2013 to 2018, I've been working in there in the ED department. I've been exposed to emergency department, and also in the medical or medical surgical department as well, and a few, very few maternity, those who are emergency cases. We sometimes get them.
Fun fact, guys, while working as a nurse, I also worked as an English teacher for Korean students.
In between those years, I should say, my father was telling me that it's time to work abroad, that I need to try and go to the greener pastures. He was suggesting to go to Middle East, to Saudi, but then I told myself, or I can feel to myself, that I'm not happy with that, that if I'll move to a different country, I should feel that joy in my heart. So I'm saying no to his suggestions. And up to this moment, guys, I will say that those years that I have stayed back home, serving my country, taking care of my family, I'm not regretting them, because every time my family became sick or needs to be hospitalized, I was with them. Every time they needed my care, I was with them, and that's quite fulfilling as well. Also, my grandmother, when she passed away, I took care of her as well, and I think that's the best feeling. Like, taking care of your family is the best reward. So we're close to getting here to Australia, guys. Stay with me. So during that time, or one day, my mother was browsing in Facebook, and then she came across to an advertisement saying that Australia needs nurses. But before that, we have tried applying to New Zealand as well. So I'm a bit torn. When she told me that news, I'm a bit torn between doing nursing in Australia and then doing nursing in the Philippines. Doing nursing in New Zealand. We have decided to have a meeting with one of the agents of the representative of the migration and have a chat with them, and they told me, shout out to Miss Maricel Sulit. Thank you for helping me and for processing my papers. It has been a long journey. So before I start, then on, my family have decided that, yeah, we'll pursue with the Australian application. By saying that, it's not like just saying, yes, we'll apply, and then, yes, on the next time I'll be flying on the plane and I'll be, boom, here. No, it took a lot of process, guys. So I have committed to RPS Migration during that time, and my case handler is Miss Maricel Sulit. So in here, I have a time frame on how I got here in Australia. It says here, 2016, I did the engagement with them, but before I did the engagement, I already had my English test my PTE, person test on English or of English exam. So I passed my PTE exam, and then I have received my letter of eligibility February 2017, and then my visa came out May 4, 2017, and then during that time I need to book my ticket because uni will start May 15. So it's really a rush for me. So May 15 I have arrived. No, uni will start May 16. I'm sorry. May 15 I have arrived in Australia, and then the following day comes my uni. I remember my first uni day, I was lost. My uni is in the city, and I came in the city 1 hour early, but I'm still lost. I found my building, my uni's building, 10 minutes before it started, and I was so scared. I'm so late. My phone was not working. Google Maps is not working. So I ended up asking strangers, do you know where's this building? Do you know where's this street? Because I really don't have any idea with how the streets name were and how will I locate them. The program that they gave me is like a conversion program. It's called bridging program, to bridge the practice and the education that we have from the Philippines to the Australian way. And then I finished my course August 4th. I went back home. I've waited on my registration in here, Australian registration on becoming a nurse. So I have received that on August 30th, and then a year after I have received my permanent residency. So in all of those things, guys, I needed funds because I'm the eldest and my father is still sending his kids, because we're five. I have four siblings, 2 brothers, 2 sisters. He's still sending them to school so he can suffice the funds that I'll be needing. So my mom and my dad, they ended up deciding to have a loan on the bank, like a big loan in the bank. It's amounting to 2 million pesos, and they ended up giving my father's land inheritance. He put it in a bank as a guarantee if in any case that we won't be able to pay the debt that we acquired from the bank, they will get my father's land or my father's inheritance. So that's 2016, and since 2016 from the money itself we have been paying the monthly payment from the bank, and then I have used that money as well to pay everything. Actually, my course itself, it's amounting to 14,000 AUD, which is like close to or half a million pesos in the Philippines. I used that money as well for my lodging here, for all the transactions that I needed. I used that money, so that money is really helpful for my journey in here. I even recall that I used that money as well in buying the tickets when going back in here. So 2018, my permanent residency has been released, and I am a permanent resident here in Australia. And from there, I've started to prepare myself in moving here to work as a nurse. So during that time when I came here, guys, applying is really hard, I should say, because first and foremost they want to hire me, yes, because there's a need in nurses in Australia, but they're saying that I'm out of practice like the Australian program, or I'm out of practice the Australian standard way, so that's why they couldn't hire me. I ended up being an agency nurse wherein they'll send you anywhere. As long as there's a shift, they'll send you anywhere. So I have been an agency nurse, but I haven't stopped applying, guys. I haven't stopped applying because I was thinking of the loan back at home, back in the Philippines. I have to pay the loan so that my father's land won't be taken away from him. It took me a month for a hospital to hire me full-time, because I am looking for a full-time permanent position that time. Because my main reason and my main goal, why am I here, is to work, to earn money, to help my family, to help pay the debt. And that's the real reason. So after a month, I have been hired and I'm so happy. So from then on, I became a nurse in a surgical ward, mostly related to the bowels. So from 2018 up to present, I haven't visited home. I'm so sad now. I haven't visited home. I'm dying to go back home, but the virus is preventing me. I've been double vaccinated and all of that, and I'm just waiting for the perfect time to go back home and meet all my family and stay and enjoy Philippines. Go to our beautiful beaches. Oh my gosh, daydreaming begins again. So while working here, guys, my mother is updating me on how our debt back home is going, that she's telling me that the bank has told her that the interest has increased again, which makes me feel bad because I've been working so hard to pay that debt, but it kept on increasing and increasing. So one of my good friend, shout out to May, so she suggested, why don't you just take a loan from a bank here in Australia and then pay all of your debt back home, so you don't have to worry about it increasing every now and then, which is really a good idea. So I've settled the debt back home, and mind you guys, I won't say the bank that I went through, but it's really bad, it's really dodgy, because I have been paying, or my father has paid as well, and I have been paying the debt back home, and the amount of payment that we have to make after paying in 1.5 years, I have loaned, or my family and I have loaned 2 million, and after paying 1.5 years, they still want us, or they're telling me I still owe them 1.5 million. It's really so bad. And after settling that, I felt really
Such a relief.
And now, up to date, I'm just paying the bank in Australia that I had loaned with, so I'm still paying that loan that I have with them. Oh, fun fact, you know what, guys, in the Philippines, because our salary was so low, I'm trying to save money. You know what, I did a lot of things to earn a bit more aside from being a nurse. So I also did some retailing. I've tried to sold some clothes from a retail shop. Nag-Avon ako, nag-Natasha ako. I even ended up selling ice candy on the hospital, guys. Wala akong pake at wala akong hiya. I think being a business-minded, it is instilled with me by my father, because he is also business-minded and he wants to venture into business as well. And those things, those simple earnings that I have, makes me really proud. And looking back, I recall that my workmates were telling me, I'm single, I don't have kids, why do I have to earn extra money? Well, I was thinking to myself that I want to earn extra money to save up for future expenses, that's the time when I was preparing to come here in Australia. And that's it. I think that's it, guys. Would like to say to you, yes, you the person who's watching this video, I would like to tell you that if you have a dream, don't stop dreaming. I would also like to add that you may have all your aspirations and all your dreams in life. You may think that it's too late, but nothing is too late. God will give you the perfect time, and God knows the right timing for everything, guys. Sometimes, actually, I felt this myself. I felt like everyone is or have been achieving their goals. Syempre naman, imagine mo, guys, I have stayed in the Philippines for 6-7 years practicing nursing in there myself, and I can see all those people who are my batchmates posting in Facebook, having their own family, building their own career, and I feel like I am being left behind. And so this is me telling you, someone out there who's feeling the same feeling that I have before, that it's not too late. Nothing is too late. God will give you the perfect timing for all the things that you're praying. You may not have it now because God knows when is the right timing. So just keep on striving, and also be strong and courageous in life. You need that in order to succeed on our journey. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you've learned something from it, and also I hope to see you guys on my next video. If you want me to do anything or any video suggestions that I could do, please comment down below. I was thinking of doing how much do I spend here in Australia, like the living expenses, as a suggestion of my friend Angeli, and also I'm planning to do a what's in the box. So I have a friend, Kath, who is in Guam at the moment. So we're thinking, or this is our plan, she's gonna prepare me a box, and I'll be taste testing or trying foods from there. We'll see, but that's our plan. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Keep safe, guys. God loves you. Bye bye.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to press the like button and also subscribe. See you on my next video. Bye bye.